Announcements, March 9th, Helping Your Child Succeed at 5 p.m. at the Fairfield Freshman Building. This is an ongoing series we have. To attend this, I think you need to sign up online. Is that right, Mrs. Gentry Fletcher? Great, thank you. March 16th, board meeting right here, Kathy D. Milligan Room at 6:30. Board member comments. Ms. Birding.
I would like to thank, once again, Mr. Tate and the AXO students that came in and shared some of their success with us. It was really moving to see students succeed in word and music, and I once again look forward to see what they achieve this year. Thank you again, Nancy and the administration team, for your continued work on making cutbacks and educating us to better our future, and I don't have anything else.
Thank you. Mrs. Gundry?
I also want to thank Mr. Bellamy and Bishop Tate for being here tonight and for the students for displaying their talents. I look forward to hopefully mentioning them in the student achievement here soon. But I also wanted to thank Mrs. Lane and Mr. Smith and everyone up here for the information. Thank you also TV Fairfield, because I did get to watch the last meeting and got filled in on the presentation that I missed. So, but I do appreciate all of the measures that you're taking to keep us informed and to be fiscally responsible. Yeah, it's a daunting task, but you know, we have good people undertaking that task. So, and then also I wanted to say my husband and my daughter were at the father-daughter dance over the weekend, and I volunteered at the ticket table, and it was a great time. Just a wonderful experience. So I hope to participate again next year. So.
Good crowd?
Oh yeah, it was a great crowd. I think there was like over 1,000 tickets.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Great, thank you. Mr. Clark?
Yeah, also echo the AXO partners, Mr. Bishop Tate and the two young men, young Mr. Tate and Mr. Browder, for all your talents, and thanks for doing what you do and partnering with the schools. Miss Nance and Miss Sweet, thank you also for partnering with them. Ms. Lane, Mr. Smith, again, thank you for the transparency and the presentation. It is very meaningful. It's enlightening to, and I hope the community watches this so they can get some insight as we will carry on next meeting as well. And thank you to the admin staff team for all your preparation for every meeting too. Since the last board meeting, I did have a pleasure visiting West Elementary, thanks to Mrs. Ogg. And I got to sit in on a couple classes, so I really enjoy seeing those classes, seeing those kids, you know, seeing them succeed in first grade and a visit of fifth grade. So it's really cool to see those kids do what they do each and every day. And the teachers are saying, thank you, teachers, for doing what you do. And then finally, summer's coming. It's getting later, lighter, staying lighter later. So watch out for the kids riding bikes and playing outside in the streets. So just be cognizant of the kids playing and just be safe.
Thank you, Mr. Clark. Mrs. Shorter.
Thank you. I echo the sentiments of my fellow board members. Thank you so much to Bishop Tate and Mr. Bellamy. It's wonderful to see our kids and their talent, just displaying their talents. I just want to send some prayers up to Mrs. Nance's family. Apparently her brother is really critically ill. She just sent me a little message. But, you know, in everything that we do at Fairfield, it's with excellence, and I can't help but brag a little bit because our kids have done so well in the program. We have produced so many winners, yes. So, but that's thanks to the administration, our teachers, and you know, community members that are able to come out and coach and mentor. And I can't say how appreciative I am of seeing all that help and seeing the fruition of it. Thank you so much, Mr. Smith and Mrs. Lane. Thank you so much for bringing that information about the levies out. That is critical. You guys are absolutely right. The public needs to hear this stuff. We have a lot of challenges, but we have a great team, and we're going to get through those. So, and welcome again to our new administrators. Welcome to Indian country, so.
Thank you, Mrs. Shorter, and just echoing that, Fairfield's AXO program has had really unparalleled success compared to many of the local districts, and it's because of the volunteers that you heard from tonight. It's because of the administration. It's the Equity Leadership team, the Community Diversity Alliance, it's Mrs. Shorter, it's people have purposely put this forward and supported it, and then our students have embraced it and succeeded, and they're better off for it. So thank you. Mr. Smith, Mrs. Lane, again, wonderful presentation, very informative, and that's, I think, what we hang our hat on, right? We're going to be informative, and we're going to be, what's the word I'm looking for?
Transparent.
Transparent, thank you, that's the word, not translucent.
Translucent.
That too, I guess, right through that. Anyway, thank you very much. I think that is what we need to do, and hopefully the community embraces the levy issue as they have in the past, and been supportive of us, allowed us to build new schools, made the district what it is. It starts with community engagement, involvement, and financial support. I look forward to a Right to Read week at Central. That's coming up here, maybe just after our next board meeting.
20th?
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
But coming up soon.
19th.
I think all the board is engaged in that, as well as other people in the public, given the opportunity to come to Central and read to the little ones, and it's very rewarding and a whole lot of fun, so please consider that. Okay, with that, we will recess to executive session. Court action RC 121-22 G3, pending or imminent litigation. Collective bargaining 121-22 G4. Motion to convene to executive session.
So moved?
Second?
Mr. Clark, Ms. Birding, Mrs. Lane, call a roll.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Ms. Birding?
Yes.
Mrs. Gundrum?
Yes.
Mrs. Shorter?
Yes.
Mr. Begley?
Yes. Convene to executive session. The meeting adjourns at 7:45.